And is caught in the cookie jar for sure. He got the crumbs on his face.
Many New Yorkers didn't hold back after the months-long drip of revelations gave way to a gusher of news.
It sounds like he got bored. That's what it sounds like. And it sounds like, he kind of sold us out.
And in the city council, where the mayor already had few allies, many members are already talking about removing him from office if he doesn't resign first.
Federal prosecutors accuse Mayor Adams of accepting more than $100,000 in improper and undisclosed benefits over nearly a decade. At Cape Canaveral today, a scheduled launch of a SpaceX crew to the International Space Station. NASA plans to use the SpaceX capsule to bring home the crew of Boeing's Starliner next year. Dave Packer, ABC News.
For not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Meet Brian. He just got $5,000, and it was pretty easy. I'll tell you how in 10 seconds. Brian needed cash help. After being rejected by banks, he tried 27cash.com. Told them how much he needed, even let them know he had bad credit. In minutes, 27cash.com found a lender who deposited $5,000 into his bank account the very next day. If you need cash help, even if you have bad credit, go to 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
FM 102.1 and AM 1450 KYNT Yankton.
You are listening to the Coach's Corner Show on KYNT, Yankton's home team. Now, let's get you caught up on Yankton High School athletics with KYNT Sports Director and the voice of the Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
All right, good morning. This is the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig in the studio with you. Thank you for joining us here this morning. Yankton Bucks victorious last night, 35-7 at the state capitol to improve to 3-2 on the season. Pretty much just a dominant performance from the Bucks from start to finish. And, of course, to have the Yankton coaches in here to talk about that here this morning. Talk sub-varsity action for Yankton as well, and then talk all other Yankton High School athletics here on the Coach's Corner. The Coach's Corner is powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. And coaches are enjoying Pizza Ranch Pizza, and our coaches that aren't in the studio join us via the Pizza Ranch phone line. We appreciate their support as well. We'll take our break, come back. We'll talk to Coach Brady Muth and Coach Justin Olson of Yankton Bucks football right here on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
I am Juan Francisco Duarte, and basketball allows me to show my adventurous spirit. Right after graduating Mount Marty, I was selected to be part of the national basketball team for Colombia. Here, I think, is a great opportunity for me to expand, grow, and also help others to adventure in their journey.
Show your spirit at Mount Marty University and schedule a tour today at showyourspiritmmu.com.
Isn't it great when things work how they should? Like the award-winning free checking from FNBO. No monthly fees, no minimums, and no overdraft fees, ever. Online, in the app, on the go, or down the street. You be you, and we'll make it easy to bank your way and manage your account. Here's to simple, flexible, and free. Here's to checking that works the way you want it to. Visit fnbo.com to learn more or stop on by. FNBO Free Checking. Member FDIC.
Hello. Here's to welcoming moments, big and small. Embracing the unexpected. Savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
Did you ever hear that cheese is the favorite food of all mice? Well, that's just a myth. Here's the fact. Mice love all food, often eating up to 8 pounds of it in their lifetime. Mice spread disease through urine, droppings, and dander, contaminating food and surfaces like counters and floors, and that's no myth. A pest professional is your best defense against the devastation rodents, termites, roaches, and ants can cause to your home and family.
Olson Pest Technicians, 1-800-KIL-BUGS.
Are you suffering from a recent injury or chronic pain?
Come see us, Lane and Reed Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
we offer a wide variety of techniques to meet every patient's need and preference, including adjustments, dry needling, acupuncture, cupping, and rehabilitation.
We are dedicated to providing personalized and effective treatment plans to help you perform at your highest level and feel your best.
Whether you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, or a sports injury, we've got you covered.
Go to SWATchiropracticandrehab.com to schedule an appointment.
All right, welcome back to the studio. Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig here, talking Yankton Bucks of football. Again, Yankton defeated Pierre on the road last night, Hollister Field 35-7, to improve to 3-2 on the season, and joined by Coach Brady Muth and Coach Justin Olson. Coaches, good morning.
Good morning, Bryce.
Morning, Bryce.
Hey, fun trip back, right?
Yeah,
it was really enjoyable. Chatter was high.
And I just want to throw this out there. I'm all things Yankton. We just had some really good pizza from Pizza Ranch from just right up the street, but I do want to tip my cap to Pierre's Pizza Ranch last night. I don't know what it was, but their pizza was extra good last night. So thank you very much.
For the brand.
Yeah, it was really good.
I don't know what's going on. I know that.
Some of the best pizza I've ever had.
It was good.
It was good.
Let's just break that down.
The game was good. The pizza was good. The chicken was even better.
Yeah, the football was good too.
Yeah.
That. So yeah, 35-7, and let's start off. Whoever wants to take it first. Obviously, penalties to start. I was getting worried that it was going to be a Watertown situation again, but it got smoothed out. It got smoothed out eventually.
You mean the 15-yarder?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Someone on the sideline. I don't know what's going on over there. But penalties to start, but it got smoothed out. And what is that? Just some nerves?
Just undisciplined football. And that's me too, just being undisciplined and being in the wrong spot. I mean, I know the rules. I got to be back. I was begging for a warning, but I didn't deserve one. So the whole thing with penalties, I'll never get upset about a penalty that happens in a play. Even the late hit on the quarterback, I'm not going to tell our defensive lineman to slow down. If we get dinged for a late hit because we're playing aggressive, we do. Holding, same thing. I mean, it's in the play. If you've played, when a kid comes off the field and you're like, hey, you have to stop holding. I mean, obviously you're going to tell them that, but you also understand that blocking someone's really hard, and if your hands get misplaced a little bit, you're going to get called for holding. So we want them to clean it up. The procedure things are the ones that really drive me nuts, just because that's just lack of focus. And last night, like you said, we weathered the storm. A couple weeks ago up in Watertown, it was too much. We've been really clean here lately, and then last night we went back to being naughty again. So we've just got to work on being a little bit more disciplined and making sure that we are getting acclimated to the way that the game is being called.
And Coach Olson, the defense last night, we talked in our post game. You came up and chatted with us, but a very impressive defensive performance. A perfect execution from Yankton, at least from our perspective. I'm sure you have a bunch of things you want to change because you're a coach. But start with Matthew Sheldon, for example. He plays both sides, but he is just a monster defensively.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, with
getting emotional about it.
I know. Just, he's playing through some things and stuff like that, and he's not letting it show on both sides of the ball, and that's good. And that just tells you how much desire, how much leadership, and just who he is as a person. First off, then that translates over to the football field. He means super smart, kind of knowing what's going on, and Pierre with their formations. He be honest with you, he didn't practice all week. Just kind of nursing his shoulder and just taking mental reps, and you couldn't tell. I mean, it was a great thing, and also allowed some of our other guys to get in there during the week to rep. So that might just be kind of one of our things, just try to keep him as healthy as we can. But he came in and he knew where everyone needed to be. Like I said, Pierre has some funky alignments, and we had to get people in the right spots. And I don't think we were misaligned less than a handful of times, if that. So he did a really great job mentally, and then leading the team on the defensive side, and then just his play in general speaks for itself. I mean, he's all over the place, making tackles, covering guys, and whatnot. So it's good to have a number 5 on the team for sure on our side.
And we talked about his partner on the defensive side as well, Bryce, the best name in the game, Crawl. We chose him as our key player of the game, entering the game, and proved why that could very well be the case. He proved it again last night, playing angry and aggressive, and he always just seems to be around the ball.
Yeah, and absolutely. And he was focused. Even last night, kind of joked around a little bit, and he was just stone cold. He was just like, he just wants to get guys. He wants to get into the game, do his job. Help out wherever he can, and he was on special teams last night. He was on offense. He was on defense. He was telling players to get back on the sideline. I mean, he was all over the place.
Us Bryces are a serious bunch.
Yeah, I mean, that with the best name in the game. I mean, with that label, you got to be serious and take a job serious. So he took everything serious last night, and he's continued to have a great season and improve on his season. There's a couple things that we're still working on to even improve his game, and that will show up here. It's fun to have two linebackers like we do have playing defense for the Bucks.
I'll have to go back and officially stat the game, but I think I have Eustace down for a sack, or at least a really good play. It was a sack, I think.
Yes.
So, yep. Getting in the backfield. He's had a season. We've talked about him before on the show, but probably not enough. He's done a really nice job defensively for the Bucks this season.
Absolutely. Sometimes guys like Peyton, who you don't notice, but then you notice. That means he's doing a really good job on offense and defense. And we started sprinkling him a little bit more on defense. We were trying to save him a little bit. He was a little. The whole team was sick last week, but he came back, and so we didn't want to use him as much. But this week, I mean, holy cow! Talk about a physical force. I mean, on the edge. He's just he's that wrestler, you know what I'm saying? So he's low center of gravity and just physical, and he got the job done last night, and it was fun to watch him do his thing and then get rewarded with a sack too. It's Peyton Eustace, number 77. I feel like we're in the All-State meeting. Number 77, Yankton Bucks.
Yep.
But I mean, Yui's been a guy that's been around. He had a varsity jersey as a freshman, so I mean, Yui's been around for a while, and that's part of it. Like, we were actually walking in from practice, and we were just talking about things like, geez, Yui's only a junior. I mean, they're gonna call him dad by the time he's done here. So I mean, but you're exactly right. I mean, he just kind of quietly goes about and does his job, but he's a fun guy to be around. Like, he's one of those guys, if I was playing, I'd want to play with him and want to be on his team.
100%.
He's a lot of fun to be around.
Your secondary last night, and we'll start with Bodie Swayze Thurman, and let's move around. But some challenges in the air, they knocked most of them down. It was a really nice job from that secondary.
Yeah, he got singled up at one time against Terwilliger, and he would never admit this, but I know he was like, okay, because we kind of talked about it and before. And he got locked up in that situation. We're going to try to avoid, we're trying to keep nests on him if all possible. If he's going to be singled up one-on-one, but he went out there and he had great position.
He did.
And, that pass is incomplete, and he just continues to play at a high level and lead that team. And like I mentioned before, post-game, he not only leads on the field, but off the field too. He's the first one at the meetings. He has his notebook. He's journaling. He's just writing, taking notes. Then he's helping the other kids out too. So he is he's a heart of a champion. And going forward, we're going to rely heavily on Bodie in the run fit and also in the secondary as well.
Yeah, he's a horse. Another one in the secondary, doing a nice job. And I feel like now I can't miss anyone, but you all did great.
I think I got through them all last night, in fact.
Yeah.
But and like you mentioned too, I mean, this secondary has a shot to be really, really special. But they're still young, and like Bodie is the only starter, and because Carson Ness moved over from free safety to strong safety, and so they're still kind of figuring some things out, and so. I know it's getting a little bit later in the season, but they're right on the verge of being like a really solid, pass defending, run filling secondary, and it'll be fun to watch when everything they have the aha moments and they start to trust each other. Yeah. I think and trust their ability, and that'll be a big thing, So we're excited about them, and their growth as well throughout the season.
Offensively, Yankton had a great night as well. Really had to look at that. Evan Sirk rushed for 164 yards and a rushing touchdown, including kind of a little shovel kind of pass from Easton Nelson as he's going down. But heads up play, is that one of those plays that when it doesn't work, it's like, what are you doing? But also when it works, hey, good job.
Well, I mean, so that's where football is different, or maybe working with me is a little bit different. Like, we scored on that play, but I was not happy about that play, and everybody knew it when they got over the sideline. I mean, we talked about how that needs to be fixed, and some of it is too is just it's just young guys trying to figure out how a game. This is a big game. There was pressure. You always want to be perfect in every play, but that play was set up to pitch perfectly off the option. The numbers it was juiced. We just didn't execute it. But when you've got special athletes, things like that happen. And so, I mean, we scored off of it and really happy about that. I was really happy at that point that our athletes that were on the field were better than the athletes that they had on the field. So from that aspect, I was happy. But from, just an execution point of view, we have to be better. And so what was great about that whole situation was we score off of it, and it's a great play. Everybody feels good about it. But when we got over the sideline, there were conversations with Ev, with E, with Coach Huber, and everybody understood that ball should have been pitched quickly, and it would have scored regardless. And so that in that play where the score is real neat and it's great, for me, the bigger thing in development is that they came over to the side and they said, yeah, we scored, but that's not good enough. We have to execute. We have to do this better. And especially when they present us an opportunity to score off an option that's completely juiced, we got to take it. But, learning baby steps, I suppose. But, I mean, we've got some special athletes, and so we had some success with some things last night.
I do feel like I need to step in here for maybe the older people that are listening. When Coach Muth says juiced, the numbers were in our favor.
Sorry.
On that play. Yeah. So we had them regardless because we had better numbers. So that's what the juice is.
Sorry.
Muth and his slang.
No, it's we love it. It's just
nope.
Just spreading. Hopefully it catches on. Everyone's saying juice now.
Trendsetter over here.
Yeah.
This is the last. We're nitpicking right now, but I guess call it negative thing. But there was a couple snaps last night. That just kind of went a little awry. One actually went by Nelson's kind of. What was that?
Just miscommunication. But you don't have to apologize for being nitpicky because good teams are nitpicky. I mean, those are things we got to clean up. Last night we were good, but we want to be great, and so those types of things. If you ever want to get to where we expect to be, then you've got to do everything right. You have to be on everything, and our guys, I think this game more than any of the other ones, they really understood that, and then they executed and they operated that way where we're going to be on Monday through Thursday, and then Friday is inevitable. It's going to take care of itself, and that's what you saw last night was a football team that's inevitable.
I could have easily looked this up. I didn't, but I'm pretty sure that was one of Easton Nelson's best games for yardage in the air, but definitely just from look of it, it was 15-19 in the air, 3 passing touchdowns, 2 just in the back corner. Just beautiful throws from Easton.
Yeah, and that, but also, so those are, there's a rollout play too where he went to his right. I talked to him about it when we got home last night, and he was on the run, which is something we've been working with him on. And the way he maneuvered his body is exactly the way it's supposed to be to get the ball on point, and he executed it, and it was like a wow moment, like, geez, and the ball got there quick. So I hope the rest of the state's not sleeping on E. I mean, because if he is, he's going to shock you. He's going to wake you up real quick. But I mean, you're starting to see a guy that's starting to get it. So you talk about the throws and just him putting the ball in a good spot for our receivers. But more than that, at the end of the game, we're in a situation where we want to run the ball. And I actually looked at Coach Shura. I was like, hey man, let's keep the ball on the ground here a little bit. Yeah. And we're calling plays that have an answer that's a run pass option. So we have an answer. They loaded the box, and Easton has to do that. He has to do quick math, and he has to put the ball where it needs to go because we're going to force them to do one or the other. And in the third, fourth quarter, I'm sure people were just like me, like, quit throwing the ball. But he has to do that and that's him doing his job. I mean, he has to get us in the best play possible, and part of that is knowing when to pull it and throw it and when to run. And so the throws are great, but just his ownership and his mastery of the offense and where that's going right now, he's not home yet, but he's in the right direction, and he's moving quickly to his destination. And so all of that is really, really exciting, and he has become, something that people are going to have to pay attention to.
Some of his separation was made by his own legs, but also great protection last night from that offensive line.
Yeah, our offensive line played a very solid football game. There were some busts, but again, it's the same thing. We screwed up, but when guys came over the sideline, they're like, I know exactly what I did. And you know, Coach Huber is walking and talking through things and working, and you can hear those conversations, and everybody is on the same page and they're working towards getting it fixed, that's when you have success, is when you identify the mistake, you fix it, and you go have success. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Wide receivers last night, Carson S., 2 receiving touchdowns, 62 yards. Connor Slava, 45 yards. And some big receptions to keep moving the chains. Cohen Zarbach, 27 yards receiving, and the opening touchdown catch. I think that was my favorite. And Ness had some big ones in the corners, but I think Zarbach was my favorite receiving touchdown of the game.
Yeah, that was masterful. I mean, the way he did that, and that's a kid that understands route running. So we did a couple of things differently personnel-wise. When we had a tight end out wide, we're starting to utilize Czar there a little bit more so we can get. I mean, we've got 3 really, really good receivers. So then we've got our 3 best receivers out in space. And we use Kale Gary a little bit more
Who
inside.
Also had a reception.
Also had a reception, which, I mean, I'm tickled. That was great for him because he's been working his tail off. But we've kind of always used him more as our run blocking guy. But Czar in that situation, Czar's getting some more touches here. And in that route, he stemmed that guy perfectly and pinned him inside. And then the angle he took to get to the sideline where he gave his quarterback the most room possible to work with, and he put it on a dime. It was a great, that was a great throw, and to watch how he shaped that throw with the route and where he put the ball was a lot of fun. And like I'm saying, you're starting to see this kid's getting it figured out, and the minute he takes complete ownership over it and has mastery over this offense, we'll take another step.
Like you've heard me say before, there's no such thing as a 50-50 ball with Carson S., a 60-40 ball. A 60-40 ball. And he got 2 of those in the end zone.
He's so fierce. Yeah. I mean, he is such a fierce competitor. And, I mean, you can't see it because they have a helmet on and their face mask. But the look in his, Coach Huber alluded to this in the game. Coach called a play. Carson didn't say, give me the ball. He looked at him and he had a look in his eye and he said, I'm calling this play. Ball should go to Carson in this situation, and he got it, and it was a tough catch. But that's the other thing that's really fun for me is just seeing the symbiotic relationship between our coaching staff and our players now. As we're getting halfway through, everybody is getting real familiar with everybody else, and it's fun to see people starting to work really, really close together.
Well, we'll break down everyone in more detail with the rest of the coaching staff, but I just want to ask you guys, this is a really exciting week coming up, but as a coaching staff, I'm sure it's also kind of like a head roller sometimes too, because the amount of activities that go into homecoming.
There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's also, so I would say this, and I say this all, nobody does homecoming like Yankton. Our homecoming is top notch, and that's because we live in a community that has a lot of pride, and we work in a school that is essentially just a little community within a community, and our kids have a lot of pride in everything we do, and so there's a lot of fun and there's a lot of excitement, and it's a great week because everything is celebrating Yankton athletics, and so everybody is competing at home, and we get a chance to get out and see everybody else compete and all those things, and then Friday night you got a football game, and we've got a job to do, and so I don't want our kids to miss out on anything from any experience that they're going to have, because you only get one shot to do high school, and if you're blessed enough to be a Yankton high school student, you're going to remember these things for the rest of your life, and so we want them to have those. We just need our guys to understand when they cross the red line and they go to practice that it's time to go to work, and they know that. They've got a job to do. They know that. 100th homecoming, all of that. It's a lot of fun stuff. We're going to go take care of business because to me, that's our best homecoming tradition, is us taking care of business on Crane.
All right. Olson, closing thoughts?
Yeah, what Coach Muth did, he knocked it out. I mean, he knocked it out of the park. He's
You guys are always fascinated to see a meathead talk.
That was juiced.
That was juiced. Absolutely, I wish I would have thought of that a little sooner. Yeah, no, it's good. I'm not taking anything away from anything here. I'm just adding this real quick. Is that coming from a Yankton, like me, so as alumni coming from O'Gorman High School, stuff like that. I thought that we had some good tradition, and which we do. But coming over to Yankton and seeing how strong, how much the community embraces its activities, its the school system and everything, and then Coach Muth is a Buck, true and true, and he helps cultivate that, and kind of like the gospel, right? How are you supposed to spread the good, the good word and stuff like that? I mean, he spreads the good word of Yankton tradition. And he does a really good job. He
actually goes door to door.
I was gonna say he just like when we talk good about him, but he is a true community leader too, and he does a really good job of promoting Yankton Sports. So hats off to Coach Muth and how he leads not only this team but also going
He's
forward.
Gonna hit me when we're done here. I just know it.
No, thank you, Coach Olson. The big thing I want our guys to understand is that you got to enjoy this. You have to enjoy this, and it's. I think we're understanding this. You got to put a lot of work in to get a victory on Friday night, and our guys know that. Having fun, there's nothing more fun than winning a football game. There's nothing better than that, and so our guys know that they're going to enjoy the week, but we're going to do the work to make sure we can really enjoy it by Friday night.
Right. All right. Well, I've kept you guys here longer than I usually do, so thanks for staying in here. Go to film, and hey, congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Bryce.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care. Whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explore CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MTRC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Traveling to Yankton for business or pleasure? Then book your stay at Yankton's two best hotels, the Fairfield Inn and Suites and Holiday Inn Express. Both are conveniently located to everything in Yankton. Both offer complimentary hot breakfasts and meeting rooms for business travelers. And if you want a great rate and still be able to change your reservation without a hassle, call either hotel direct. The Fairfield and Holiday Inn Express, two great hotel choices when visiting or arranging rooms for guests to Yankton.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig here in the studio. Being joined by Coach Terry Huber and Coach Brady Hale, Yankton Bucks football coaches. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, Bryce?
I'm pretty good. Big victory for the Bucks last night, and trying to see where we're going to start today. A lot to talk about.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to get through it. I kept those two in here for quite a long time, so everyone else is going to have their time cut short now because those two. You can blame those two at film, because I know you want to be in here.
Yeah.
All right. But let's start with just offense in general. I guess start at the quarterback. I mentioned it with Muth quite a bit, but elaborate more, Huber, if you would. Easton Nelson, I think that's some of the best throws I've seen him make this season. Unofficially 15 of 19 in the air, 151 yards, but 3 just very well placed touchdown passes.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Coach Hale and I, we got to break things down a little bit on the way home on that drive last night. Just talking about the balls that he was placing out there where, I mean, you take a foot off of that and defense has a play on those, but he was putting them exactly where they needed to be. That first touchdown to Czar, right in the corner of the end zone there. Both of them to Ness. Ness went up and got that first touchdown, really high pointed it great, and then that back shoulder in the end zone on the near side to us. It was a great night for him. I thought Nelly was a great leader out there. We had 3 drives that were 11, 12, 13 plays, and it takes a guy like him running that operation, understanding what the defense is doing, to go out there and lead that team down those drives, and I thought he did a phenomenal job last night.
We'll talk about each of them in a different way quick. Cohen Zarbach's touchdown, I told Muth this as well, that I'm pretty sure that was my favorite touchdown of the night.
Yeah.
Just the way it played out, the throw, but also the catch right in the corner. Everything worked out really well there, and Hale, I mean, that's been something that you guys have been working on with Easton, right? Is being on the move.
Yeah, we like putting the quarterbacks on the move. It kind of simplifies things for him and makes reads easy. But I thought he read those plays perfectly. And just shout out to those senior wide receivers. We have some great ones, and they do a good job leading our group. And when we have games like that against a good rival, we need our seniors to step up. So it's just awesome to see that kind of come to fruition for them. And Easton played a great game, and I just, it's been fun to watch. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how it can continue going. And
then I mentioned before, there's no such thing as a 50-50 ball with Carson S. It's a 60-40 ball.
Yeah.
And you mentioned high pointing it a couple times, some big grabs from him. But you come to expect those. We're spoiled. You come to expect those kind of catches from Ness. And then you have a player like Connor Slava, 45 receiving yards. Man, he's had a big touchdown this season also, and he'll have more as the season progresses. But what I'm most impressed with him this season, besides his return ability, is he is just one of the best safety blankets you could possibly have as a quarterback, right? Is that he's going to find a way to get open, and even if he is one of the last reads in that particular play, he's going to get positive yardage.
Yep. So, there was I can't remember what the comment was on the sideline, but, he was standing there, and I just said, what I remember about tonight is I remember a 3rd and 3. I remember a 3rd and manageable, and I know who the guy is getting the football right there. And I was like, those are the things that I'm looking at. You might not have a 100-yard receiving game, and that's absolutely just fine. We have a lot of power in this offense, and the ball's got to get spread around. You might not get that 100-yard receiving game, but you are getting as a first down on 3rd and 5. You're getting as a first down on 3rd and 3, and that keeps those drives going. That's the reason why we're able to get down in those areas to get those touchdowns. He's that guy. He's always trying to find space. I know for quite a few years, like Tyler Solar came in, and with him and Rugby, that connection, they were working that same thing. And I think the Slava and Nelly have that great kind of connection there. Any kind of scramble or any kind of just, if it's a hectic play, he's going to find him in that space, and we're going to get those yards. And they might be tough yards too. He took a couple shots. I know he had that one on Pierce sideline. He made a great catch, got us some positive yards, and then took a big hit. But he's going to be the first one to pop back up on that next play. So he's a tough receiver.
Cale Gary joined the receiving party last night, a big reception. I think that converted to a first down.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big blocks as well. He's been really doing well.
Yep. So we, kind of changed our tight end up a little bit. You probably saw Zara on the field a lot more. He's kind of taking a little more of the split Y reps, and Gary's going to really hone in on that attached Y position. And I thought last night he took every advantage of it. His blocking was a lot better than it has been the past couple games. And then in the receiving game, that's the one thing that I feel like he isn't as comfortable in. But he showed confidence last night. That play, it was a great catch. It wasn't anything bobbled. It was a confident catch, getting that first down, and it was a very key play in that drive.
Yeah, and then just overall, we mentioned him already, Hale, but just as being in charge of receivers, in that regard, You just have to like the variety of kind of receivers you all have. They're all competitors, but they all bring something different.
Yes.
Absolutely. It was a team effort last night from the wide receiver group, and we take pride in, if the ball's thrown our way, that we're coming down with it.
Yeah.
It's our ball. So, and they all kind of embody that. And, a lot of the times I don't have to do a lot of pushing on those guys. They have leadership skills. They do a good job of making sure the things that need to happen are getting done. And then, it's just all gravy from there. So, we're out there doing our jobs. I thought they blocked well. There's a couple of them where I'm okay with getting a holding penalty here and there as a wide receiver coach, because that means we're blocking through the whistle.
Yes.
And if we're getting a holding penalty, at least you're out there blocking and putting in effort. So I thought those guys did a nice job overall. And just all those seniors that we have, that really helps out with our young guys mixed in there. So it was a great team effort.
We'll talk special teams, but one last one for Huber. We need to talk about the offensive line.
Absolutely, we do.
The great protection. And yeah, there's some breakdowns, of course. Booth mentioned that, but I don't think you're ever going to have a perfect game. You strive for it.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's ever going to be such a thing.
Yeah.
But Nelson had some time.
And
some big holes for Zerk.
I'm being an O lineman myself. I know that position, you don't want the recognition. You want those guys. You want Zerk. You want Nelly. You want Ness. All those guys to be getting the recognition for the work that you're doing up front. And I'm not great at complimenting these guys, and they know it, but they know that I'd do anything for them. I just kind of want to go left to right. Conway at left tackle, he stepped in this year. Last year, he was in for a couple games for us, helping us out. But as a sophomore, he is really honing in on his technique, and he's always a guy who I know is absorbing everything that I'm coaching. Derek Beal at left guard, going both ways. He has just been a dominant performance there. And, that's tough. He's playing a lot of snaps, and he, as a pulling guard, he's moving and he's doing work, and he's been a really nice leader to have on that field as well. Mark Cottle at center, he knows what I feel about a center. A center's got to be the guy who's taking control of the pace of the game. He's taking control of every snap, communicating any coverages or any pass protection, all that stuff that we need happening in communication-wise. He's taking care of it. The man at right guard, Peyton Eustace, he is just such a fun guy, because I think he is one of the toughest guys on our team. He would do anything. I don't care if he's hurt or not. He's going to do anything for that group up front to be successful. And then Lucas Cordell, he is, in my opinion, become one of our overall top offensive linemen that's been at this team since I've been here. He is, his technique, his drive, his communication skills, and just understanding of each of our run concepts and our pass pro, his deep understanding and communication of it has been really special for me to see, and just this group of guys last night, Coach Hales, he's calling down saying Huber, the surge right now is 2 to 3 yards every play, and that's what we want. We want those guys surging on that run game, and I thought Nelly had a bunch of time last night, which we want him to feel comfortable back there. We want him to know he's safe and protected, and he's got his big boys up front doing their job. So just, hats off to that O-line group. They were phenomenal last night.
I did lie. There's one more thing. I can't believe we talked about him in quite a length with the last two. So, but there's a rumor that Evan Zerk is still running up and down Hollister Field right now. You guys did bring him back on the bus, right?
Yeah, he just went after last night. He had a lot of touches, but those feet don't stop moving. Just tough, hard yards. There was a couple he was upset that he almost broke for big ones. But he did a great job in those conversions, getting us down to, third and manageable, or, I can't remember who was like, we were 2nd and 8 last night. We were getting first downs out of the run game. And that's him seeing the field and just running so aggressively. It's so much fun to be able to see and coach that
kid. Jerome Bettis out there. Yeah. Like, oh, wow.
It's incredible to see him out there.
That's great. And special teams, Hale, what did you think about the punt game last night?
Yeah, I thought it was good. We have Matthew Sheldon. Yeah, Matthew Sheldon's our punter, so I'm sure that strikes a little bit of fear into teams when they see that. Just because, if I was watching a team's better player punt the football, that's a little nerve-wracking. But he's out there. He does a good job, and the main reason he's back there is because we trust him, and he's going to make the right play, and he's going to put the ball where we need it. And we did a little bit of rugby punting last night, which was a little different for us, but I thought it went well. And the main goal there is to just have a equal change of field position and just get the ball away and have our defense in a good spot to play defense. So I thought it was good. Cale Gary snapped the ball really well. And then I thought our just protection the whole night was good.
For the class, explain rugby punting.
So, yeah, rugby punting is traditionally you
not
walk
rugby ranking.
He actually was out there.
Yeah. Traditionally, you walk straight in the line when you punt. And I kind of prefer that. Just simplifies things. But Rugby punting helps the kids get moving downfield. So Matthew will run a little bit to his right and punt the ball down the field. So it's a little bit of a different look, and I think it helps us punting the football. So, and it also gives us a little extra time to cover. So that's kind of the reason we went to that. But we'll definitely mix that up. But I thought just from executing it for the first time, it went well.
Villanueva is still a part of the kicking team, obviously with kickoffs. That's huge. And then Kevin Ortiz got in the action last night. Perfect from extra points. You already mentioned Kilgary with his snaps. Tate Best, you doing a nice job holding. Seems like that it was new last night, but it seems like that entire process went pretty smooth.
Yeah, I thought overall special teams played a great night, or had a great night on the field. Kevin, I got to tell you, he's a confident kid, and he's coming from a little bit of a soccer background, and this is his first game really getting a lot of majority of the kicking reps, and to go out there and go 100%. I thought it was awesome. I can't give him enough credit for that. Obviously, his operation was great. Kale snapping and Tate holding, and those guys blocking up front. But it was just awesome to see him step out there and put those points through the extra point there. And that's what we need. We need a point on the board. We need it to be 7-0 or 14, whatever it is. That helps us out a ton. And then Liam kicking off. We're going to continue to have him out there doing that. And I thought he did a nice job. There's a couple I think he would say he can improve on, but overall, I thought coverage matched up well with the kicks that were put out there, so that's all we can ask.
Kale Hazelhorse, block punt.
Hey, that's 2 now that we've gotten, and those guys love that. They feed off of that. I mean, that's a huge play. I thought right before the half, Kale making that play was huge, get us a touchdown right before we go into half. And that kid, he's got like extendo gadget arms and long levers.
So long.
It's like, how do you not block it every time? But no, he's a freak athlete, and he did a great job. We had it schemed up to where hopefully he could get going, and he was able to just take it right off the guy's foot. And then I believe Jolton hopped on it and got a recovery for us there. So just a great job by that punt return unit. In addition to all the other reps where we didn't get a block, I thought they blocked well, and Connor was able to do a nice job returning.
I felt awful on the call. I saw 12 in my head real quick, like a flash, right? And I said Ness, and then right away I corrected it to Hazelhorse, but I felt really bad about it. So make sure I give him his flowers today. That was a great blocked punt, and like you mentioned, there's been a few of those this season, or at least close ones as well, but it's been great. And I guess coaches, I already asked Muth and Olsen, but homecoming week brings a little extra festivities and just trying to keep the team focused, but I'm sure that really hasn't been a problem.
Yeah, no, these guys, I would say probably one of the calmer, more collected groups. The fun thing, that we get to
focus on keeping him calm.
Yeah, the fun thing that we get to see with this group of guys is, they're all really, really close and connected. And we get to see that every day at practice. The teachers get to see that in the school. They're very close, and they know what's at stake. I don't know many coaches that like homecoming week because of all the distractions. I'm just glad we get to play a home game. That's what I love about it. I love playing at home. I love playing at Crane and getting all the fans out here. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I hope these guys enjoy the week because it is fun when you're in high school, and everything that's going on. So I do want them to enjoy the week. But I told Nelly this last night. Actually, I was like, enjoy this win, but we got work to do this week. And so I didn't come out to beat Pierre as our state title for mid-season. I came out to win at the end of the season as well. So I think these guys are all bought into that, and that's exactly what they want to do as well.
All right, we'll go get started on it with film for Sturgis. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Appreciate it,
Bryce.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
At Triple Time Rudy's, not only do you get top-notch fuel to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than just fuel. Triple Time Rudy's supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, stop by Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
Do you want a job that keeps it real? At Truxedo, a real truck company, we keep it real by promoting our values of excellent service, teamwork, accountability, and innovation. Join the Truxedo team and enjoy your next career adventure. We have a variety of openings, including Weekend Maintenance Technician 2. So don't wait. Get up, get out, and apply at realtruck.com/careers. Start your next adventure with a career at Truxedo.
¿Está buscando una casa para comprar? Me llamo Deb Speck de Vision Real Estate y puedo ayudarle a encontrar la casa perfecta. Yo sé que la barrera del idioma puede ser difícil, pero puedo facilitar el proceso. Escoja a un agente que se habla español. Envíeme un mensaje de texto 605-661-9398.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
All right, good morning, Coach's Corner, and still talking Yankton Bucks football. And for time considerations, we're going to skip the varsity part of our conversation. Let's go right into sub-varsity. We have Coach Blake Savvy and Coach Dan Schwach in the studio here this morning. Coaches, good morning.
Morning.
All right, we want to talk JV first?
Sure.
All right, Yankton JV beat Brookings 42-14, and that was on Monday after Brookings. And Coach Schwach, 5-0 on the season. Go JV.
Yeah, actually, it was at home. That's my fault. That was my fault on the stat sheet. So, yeah, it was a good game, fun game. Fun to play Brookings. I know we got them here in a few weeks on Friday night. So, turned into kind of the Tegan LaCroix, Carter Boomsma show on offense. Tegan 10 for 12, 4 touchdowns, 247 yards. Boomsma just kind of, I guess, was living in that cornerback's head rent-free. Running routes, getting open, so was fun to watch and fun to see Booms get some touchdowns. Abel Bryan caught 1, 2. I think he catches about 1 a game per usual, so offensively was really clicking. Jason and Carson Krall pounded the ball out. Jolton Remnants Hahn got some carries. I think we ended up about 170 on the day, so real fun offensively. I mean, you don't get all those deep touchdowns and time without the offensive line, so I mean, Drace Gaskins, Austin Stotes, Riley Mortensen, Ben Bowman, and Jake Walter, just showing the true depth of our offensive line on the 10 to 12 roster, and really exciting to watch those guys develop.
Yeah, and it seems like they're not only have their stats be getting better and better as the season goes on, but looking at the defensive part right now and just seeing the variety of, it always just seems like there's. Obviously, in every game, there's going to be multiple tacklers, but it just seems like it's always spread out really nice with JV.
Yeah, it was. So Carson Krall led us this week with 8 and a couple sacks. If we he's kind of fun to send. It's kind of a little cheat code. And Jolton Remnants Hahn is kind of turning into a kickoff fan favorite, just how he plays the kickoff spot on Friday nights. And he carries that intensity to Mondays, too. He had 8 tackles and a sack. Ivan Hirschman, sophomore DB, playing he can play safety, corner, anywhere in the defensive backfield, really developing. And then, on interceptions-wise, offensive guys, Tegan LaCroix, Carter Boomsma, and saw Tegan a little bit on Friday night, and a lot of that's a direct result of how he's looking on Mondays. So, good game, excited, got out of it injury-free. A lot of guys got a chance to play and just ready to go spill the tea next Monday.
Yeah, and Slotchik did get some carries last night in the varsity game. I know we're not going to talk about that too much, but
he
got some carries.
We see him, and he was a scout running back all week, and he does a great job.
And then Carson Krall, I'm really excited to see what he keeps developing into. You mentioned a cheat code, but I like to see him, and I remember just the long touchdown run at Douglas and stuff of that nature. But I'm always seeing him on these stat sheets.
Yeah, you recognize the last name from I believe it was last night's player of the game. Yep. So we have a little bit of fun with that every time Carson busts a long one.
Yep, absolutely. And then you have up next that would be travel to T area on Monday, and playing up at T. That's always a big one, and I'm sure you guys are looking forward to that one.
Yeah, Coach Beacom and I, that goes back to our Vermilion days playing T, so this is kind of familiar with them, and they're going to run the ball just like they do on at pretty much every level. I think the guy literally wrote the book on like a wing tee spread option. So will be fun to try and stop the running game.
Passing plays are like the last page of the playbook.
Yeah,
they're back here somewhere.
That's the goal, is to get them doing that as fast as possible.
All right, Coach, and thanks, Coach Schwab. Coach Savvy, 9th grade football. They fell to Brookings 34-20 on Thursday, but overall, I'm looking here and very competitive game.
Yeah, I think we struggled a little bit in the first half, and we give credit to Brookings. They had a really solid running back and very tough to take down. It was, he's one of those running backs that if we only had one guy to the ball, that was not going to be enough to bring him down. And so took a little bit to just get some hats to the ball in the first half. And then when we finally settled in, the second half, I thought we were really proud of them. They put up 7 points, and we were able to tack 8 points on the board in the second half to kind of keep that an even game. They just got away from us a little bit in the first half with 27 points on the board, and that's a lot to give up in a half. But we had some guys do some great things. We moved the ball really well, just had a tough time really kind of converting consistently on the offensive end. But Jack Kudera, I thought, had a great game. He was under pressure a lot, but ended up 15 for 23, 187 yards and 3 touchdowns. For as much as he was under pressure, I thought that he had a very smart, really good game.
And obviously being 9th grade, this is all these guys' first year in the high school program for the Yankton Bucks. Are you pretty impressed so far overall with the development of these guys from when you first had them in camp to where they're at right now?
Yeah, and I think we talk about that every week. They continue to take steps forward, and we talked about that even at the end of yesterday's game. The scoreboard, that is what it is, but we were very proud of the adjustment they made from the first half to the second half, and I thought that even that is a huge sign of growth in those guys, just being able to be down on the scoreboard like that and then kind of rally each other and come and put together a good second half of football. That's a really good sign for us. I think we saw, this is maybe a week where we go back to some tackling techniques and drills and really break that down. But overall, we've seen really good growth from these guys, and we're continuing to be happy week to week with where they just kind of continue to grow with the technique and the scheme part of things.
Yeah, never a bad idea to strengthen the foundation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're going to have, just like Coach Schwach, T area, and it's going to be running game. So
that's right. Yes. So it'll be a good, it'll be a good week to go test the new tackling, techniques that we throw out throughout the week. But
they'll get some opportunities
for sure.
Awesome. You guys have big plans this weekend?
Watch the Coyotes hopefully get a good W here.
Oh, they're going to beat Southern Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
Go Yotes.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of good football this weekend.
Mount Marty as well, and they said a lot of area football. So go to Phil, and thanks for coming in, coaches. Congratulations on the big victory last night.
Thanks, Bryce.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Ever try to fit a giant cactus into a box? No? Well, at the UPS store, we've seen it all. Okay, maybe not a cactus, but we've seen a lot, so don't worry. You don't have to be a packing genius. Let the associates at the UPS store handle it. From awkward size objects to important documents, we'll pack it perfectly, ship it safely, and give you peace of mind you need. Whether it's fragile, oversized, or just plain weird, bring it to us, and we'll take care of the rest. The UPS store in Yankton and Vermilion, because sometimes packing is harder than it looks.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise, and peak flu season is almost here. Save time and get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today, or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy. Some restrictions apply.
Sports injuries can be the result of competitive activities, but can also happen by just participating in leisure activities too. If you're experiencing pain as the result of your chosen activity, consider chiropractic care. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. We have experienced chiropractors that work with sports injuries every day. Our treatment options are aimed to minimize pain, reduce recovery time, and reduce risk of future injuries. Visit First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig in the studio alongside Bucks head golf coach Brett Syme. And Coach, good morning.
Morning.
All right, so we have a meet to talk about that was at Watertown on a Tuesday. Yankton finished the invite 321. Top golfer for Yankton, Elijah Larson, at a 77. Opening thoughts on the overall team performance?
Well, it was an okay performance for us. We've had a number of tournaments where we were under 320, and that's kind of what we keep talking about is we've got to be under 320 and maybe quite a ways under 320 if we want to be competitive. We ended up just over that, and that's why we ended up, I think, 9th out of the 15 teams that were there at that tournament. But it was a great tournament for us to kind of feel out the state tournament golf course that we're going to be playing in here in just over a week. And, I think the kids were able to learn a lot about, what they're going to be seeing when we go up to the state tournament, October 6th, 7th, and 8th. And so in that aspect, it was a great tournament for us, kind of a glorified practice round, but being able to compete in it. A couple of our kids had a little trouble with the greens. I know we had one golfer that four-putted a couple of greens, and we just can't have that. That's just throwing a few shots away.
Was this the course that you said was like 27 holes?
It is, but we only play 18 of them.
Yeah.
There's a red, a yellow, and a blue 9. We play the yellow and the red for the tournament the other day, and then for the state tournament, it'll be the same 2 courses. But, I saw some good things, too, that gave me a lot of hope that we could maybe play well at Watertown when we go up for the state tournament. But, we just got to shore up a few things and keep working on the things that we need to. But, here we are. After the conference that we're going to play on Monday, we're only going to have 4 days of practice before we head up to Watertown and go compete in the state tournament. So, here we are at the postseason.
It's here.
Just getting ready to go, yeah.
Does it seem like it has flown by so far? We ask you that every year, but it really does surprise me. We mentioned it already on the show like 3 times this year, but I know on the calendar, I know who's going to finish first. But it seems like soccer, tennis, and golf are just the fastest sports.
They are. They're quick. And it's kind of weather related. They used to have the season, I think it was a week or maybe even 2 later. And what would happen is we'd run into even some possible snow sometimes later in October, and the state decided to move the season up years back. But yeah, it's here it is. We started pretty much early in August. I think it was August 12th this year, and we're done by October 8th. So, bring on the next week and a half. We're looking forward to the competitions and a couple of big ones.
And then it's different in the spring because that goes longer than everyone.
A little bit, yeah. We do start a little later.
Yep.
We don't start till the end of March, and then
you don't want to golf in
June,
snow,
but we have.
I know.
We have golfed while there's been snow on the ground, but yeah, it is what it is, and sometimes it gets a little too hot in June. My personal feelings, I wish we were finishing towards the end of May like we used to, but yeah, it is what it is. We got to deal with what the state set and play. So,
talk a little bit more about your individual golfers from this Watertown.
Yeah, you mentioned Eli Larson came out and shot a really good round, 77. But even looking at that, and I think 77's a good round. I look at where he placed individually, and it's a really tough field to try and break into the placing this year. He tied for 25th at the Watertown Invite. And at the state tournament, they'll place the top 25. So you're going to have to shoot pretty well to be able to try and break into that top 25. And then top 6 teams place. It's going to be tough to break in there, too. There's just a lot of good teams this year. And if I look at the top 6, their T areas there at 309. So we got to be looking at trying to break 310 2 days in a row to be able to try and be in that spot where we want to be. Because I think in the kids' minds, we want to try and get on the podium. We want to try and be in those top 6 teams. Individually, we've got some golfers I know that really want to work hard and try and be in the top 25 place at the state tournament. But it's going to be really tough. The field is deep, and it's a good field this year, and there's a lot of teams with a lot of good players. So, and then we've got Easton Velick and Kai Cody shot 81. Riker Larson, Parker Riley, and Braden Birkeland all shot 82. So all in all, I mean, having everybody at 82 or better, it's, it was a good performance. I don't know if I'd say great performance, but it was a good performance.
Solid.
But we need some of those scores to be a little lower. We need to get rid of some of those mistakes like the 4 putts or maybe some mental mistakes that lead to, scores that are higher than double bogey. We got to be thinking more of the team rather than me sometimes. We got to think about how that affects the team, not the individual. And if we can do that, I think we can go up to Aberdeen on Monday and then Watertown the next Monday, Tuesday, and have a couple good tournaments and just see where we fall.
Moccasin Creek Golf Course up in Aberdeen. I remember my parents golfing that, and I don't remember anything about it, obviously. But what can you tell me about that course?
Well, I've gotten to play myself up there quite a bit. In high school, we had a couple of state tournaments that were held at Moccasin Creek. I've coached many state tournaments or conference tournaments that have been held at Moccasin Creek since I've been in Yankton. So got some good course knowledge there. I grew up in Britain, South Dakota, which is only 60 miles from Aberdeen. So actually got to go over to Aberdeen and play there quite a bit, even not just in high school competition, but other competitions. So I've got some pretty good course knowledge there. If I were to say, I like to compare things to what we have here in Yankton, it's much closer to Hillcrest than it would be to Fox Run. So you got to try and control your ball, try and keep it out of the trees. There's some big drainage ditches that run throughout the course, which are penalty areas. So you got to try and keep it out of those. You got to be a little strategic about your shots. You might have to hit it just a certain distance to stay away from that, or you got to know your carry distance to get over it. A lot of bunkers around the greens that you got to try and maneuver and stay out of. And, we'll see when we get up there. We're going to leave 9:30 tomorrow. We got a practice round at 2, 4-hour trip to get up there. That should put us in with enough time to get a little bit loose getting out of the vehicle. And we've only got one player that's ever played there, and that's Parker Riley, and I think he's only played 18 holes there. Nobody else has seen the course. So I'm hoping the experience I've had there, we've had some luck up there. The first state championship that I coached for the Yankton Bucks was up there. So it's good memories up there, and I hope we can go up there Monday and make some more. So, yeah.
It's been 20-plus years since I lived in the area. Is it the one by Wiley Park?
No, that's Lee Park more.
Okay.
If you go up by Wiley and then you head east, it'd be a ways. It's closer to the east side of Aberdeen and north a little bit.
So I'm thinking of the other.
I think you're thinking of Lee Park.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a great course. It can be a tough course. Weather looks like it's going to be decent. It's going to cool off a little bit. I think I saw a high of 77, and winds not too bad. Last I looked, it was winds of 7 mile an hour with 15 mile an hour gusts. That's pretty calm in South Dakota, so we would take that. But it's going to take some strategy.
Very calm for Aberdeen too.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but it's gonna take some strategy out of our kids, and like I said, I've got some pretty good course knowledge, and I'm going to try and talk to them on the way up tomorrow and during our practice round about how to strategize around that course and make sure we're not throwing strokes away around the golf course. So, yeah, looking forward to going up there. Again, the conference is tough. I mean, you got Watertown, Pierre, Harrisburg. Brandon Valley's been playing really good. T's been playing pretty good. It's really going to be a tough conference tournament this year, and we're just hoping to go up and play a good round. And I think a good finish for us would be if we can get in the top half. Mm-hmm. There's 10 teams going to be up there. If we can be in the top half of the field, that'd be good, because we haven't beaten the teams like Watertown or Pierre or Harrisburg. They've just been shooting crazy good scores this year. And Brandon Valley we've beat once or twice. T we've beat once or twice. So we're hoping to go up, have a good round, and maybe try and sneak up on those teams. And, who knows? Maybe we can get in the top 5, maybe even the top, 4. But it's going to take some discipline by our kids and some smart golf to be able to do that.
Well, best of luck to Yankton Bucks golf. You said you're leaving tomorrow?
We are. 9:30 tomorrow morning.
Well, safe travels up north, and thanks for joining us here this morning, but best of luck to the Bucks.
All right, thanks a lot, Bryce.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Investing in your home is easier and more fun when you have local choices. This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer, Upper Midwest Garage Door. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
Pizza Ranch is all about the cookie. This is Mike from Yankton Pizza Ranch. Get ready for our famous family-sized chocolate chip cookie filled with chewy, gooey, chocolatey goodness. And right now, you can feed your group for just $20. Grab our online pizza deal, 2 single-topping medium pizzas, a small cheesy ranch sticks, and a small cactus bread, all for $20. Simply go to pizzaranch.com to order now.
Whoa, that's good.
Medicare coverage is not a one-size-fits-all coverage. Do you like to travel? Are you wanting to spend your winters down south? Or just spend some time with your grandkids? Make sure you choose a plan that fits your needs and will travel with you. Visit Julie at Missouri River Associates to review your upcoming Medicare or your current needs. That's Julie at Missouri River Associates, 665-6885.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explore CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
Investing in your home is easier and more fun when you have local choices. This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer, Upper Midwest Garage Door. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
I am Juan Francisco Duarte, and basketball allows me to show my adventurous spirit. Right after graduating Mount Marty, I was selected to be part of the national basketball team for Colombia. Here, I think, is a great opportunity for me to expand, grow, and also help others to adventure in their journey.
Show your spirit at Mount Marty University and schedule a tour today at showyourspiritmmu.com.
Isn't it great when things work how they should? Like the award-winning free checking from FNBO. No monthly fees, no minimums, and no overdraft fees, ever. Online, in the app, on the go, or down the street. You be you, and we'll make it easy to bank your way and manage your account. Here's to simple, flexible, and free. Here's to checking that works the way you want it to. Visit FNBO.com to learn more or stop on by. FNBO Free Checking. Member FDIC.
Hello. Here's to welcoming moments, big and small. Embracing the unexpected. Savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
Did you ever hear that cheese is the favorite food of all mice? Well, that's just a myth. Here's the fact. Mice love all food, often eating up to 8 pounds of it in their lifetime. Mice spread disease through urine, droppings, and dander, contaminating food and surfaces like counters and floors, and that's no myth. A pest professional is your best defense against the devastation rodents, termites, roaches, and ants can cause to your home and family.
Olson Pest Technicians, 1-800-KIL-BUGS.
Are you suffering from a recent injury or chronic pain?
Come see us, Lane and Reed Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of techniques to meet every patient's need and preference, including adjustments, dry needling, acupuncture, cupping, and rehabilitation.
We are dedicated to providing personalized and effective treatment plans to help you perform at your highest level and feel your best.
Whether you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, or a sports injury, we've got you covered.
Go to SWATchiropracticandrehab.com to schedule an appointment.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. And let's keep talking Yankton High School athletics. Yankton Gazelles volleyball fell to Sioux Falls Lincoln at home on Tuesday in 5 sets, 8-25, 25-22, 22-25, 25-23. Went to the 5th set and lost 12-15, but really pushed Sioux Falls Lincoln to the brink. That was very impressive. Yankton Gazelles swept Vermilion in 3 sets on Thursday, 25-18, 25-10, and 25-22. And they're currently 3-11 and are 17th in Class AA, but it seems like they're really clicking right now where they're at. And some good performances. They're going to need today, hosting Aberdeen at the Summit Activity Center. Pre-game coverage begins at 2:30 on KYNTV, with first serve scheduled for 3 p.m. KYNT's own Braden Butler will be on the call. Again, that's on KYNT Plus and KYNTV. All right, let's start talking Yankton soccer. Yankton Bucks fell to Pier 1-0 on Tuesday at Crane Youngworth Field. And Braden Butler, in the postgame, caught up with Coach Dane Hansen. We'll go ahead and play the interview for you right now.
Coach Dane Hansen. Coach, a 1-0 loss in the end to the Pier Governors, but it was a game of grit from Yankton from start to finish. You already came in. We don't have to get too in-depth into injuries, obviously, but you already came in missing your starting goalkeeper, Andrew Budig. And then it felt like the injury bug really just had something out for the Bucks today. Jack Pedersen leaves, Cade Reifenrath leaves, neither of them returned. At one point, Kevin Ortiz did miss some times. He was able to come back. It led to a lot of different players playing a lot of different positions, and that's kind of what I want to focus on, because Aiden Anderson stepped into that defensive back line for Cade Reifenrath, and I thought for a guy who traditionally not a center back ended up playing very well for being thrust into that role in the second half.
Well, he's really comfortable on the ball, so that does help us keep possession. So throwing him back there, I mean, we've done that with like Nels, right? We've done that with Amos. We've done that with a couple of other center mids when we had to replace the center back. So it's just kind of the natural progression. And I want to say for club soccer, he plays defense a little bit more than midfield. So I think it naturally suited him a little bit.
Oh, I mean, it still is the change. You had Almost Alonso in goal today. I know maybe a mistake coming out from net there ends up in a goal, but he, I think, was very solid for what it was. Obviously, giving up a little height, giving up the experience that Budig has, but still, when he was called upon, most of the time tonight, unfortunately, the one gets by him, but he was able to stand up tall.
Amos is a great person of character. He is willing to be team first. You need him to hop in goal? Sure, I'll do that. You need him to play center back? Sure, I'll center mid. Wherever you need him to play, he just wants to play, and he's going to give his best effort no matter where you ask him to play. And, you don't run into too many players like that, and just champion a character there.
Talk about your team as a whole. This is a very good Pier Governors team. They're in the top half of Class AA. I believe they were 7th coming in the standings. Yep. I thought you guys played really well. I know it was two teams that seemed to have their goal be win possession and then use that to go forward. How do you give your thoughts out of the injuries, your thoughts on how your team played today against Pier as it was changing back and forth?
It's really promising for the future, right? Like just from a mentality standpoint, we showed a lot, like you said earlier, we showed a lot of grit, a lot of heart. And maybe we haven't seen that all the time throughout the season, but that's definitely something that we can build off of, is just having a strong mentality and a will to to win even when things aren't quite going your way, dealing with adversity, right? But then just getting the minutes for some, like Abe, he had a monster game. He's a freshman. Jordan, he's a freshman. He actually came in and played pretty well. A little shaky right at the first couple minutes, but that's freshman, but then he settled in. So it's pretty promising for next year, considering most of those kids that are out there are kids that we return next year. So outlook is very positive. If we can bottle that energy and emotion and continue to use that, that's going to go a long way as well.
I don't mean to pile on, but I just remembered Mitchell Zimmerman also didn't play tonight. He was out.
Sick. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't see him on the sideline at all, and then there's a confirmation there to leave with an illness. So it really felt like you guys playing with a shorthand still showed a lot of grit out there. Ends up 1-0 in favor of Pierre. You got a couple days off until Saturday. You're on the road in Aberdeen. What are you expecting in that last game of the regular season on the road against the Golden Eagles?
Well, from a them standpoint, it's going to be very similar to how Pierre played. Very physical. They possess well. I think when those two played, it was 2-1 or 3-2. So it's going to be a good game. I'm expecting a very similar performance out of them. And then just from our guys, again, we're probably going to reach into the bench. We're going to rotate kids through. But, I'd like to end on a positive note, a draw or a win, get some points, see where we end up. If we end up 17th, great. Just let's not be sitting where we're at and just move up the board just a little bit and close out our season.
I wish you luck on Saturday on the road trip to Aberdeen Central. It's been nice getting to talk to you and get to know you a little bit here, your first season as head coach, and hopefully you ended on a high note, like you said, into your regular season with a win or a draw against Aberdeen on Saturday.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, and thanks to Coach Dan Hansen for joining Braden Butler in that post game back on Tuesday. And, Bucks soccer, still have a chance to end the season on a high note today up at Aberdeen. And that'll be the regular season finale today at 12 p.m. First of the boys-girls varsity doubleheader. They are currently 2-10-1 on the season and 20th in Class AA. Gazelles soccer, they tied Pierre on Tuesday, 0-0, or 0-0, as I like to say. And just like Coach Dan Hansen, Coach Tyler Schuring caught up with Braden Butler in that post game. We'll play that for you right now.
We bring in head coach Tyler Schuring of the Yankton Gazelles. And, Coach, talking here leading up, coming back from break, this was a very impressive performance by the Gazelles. In the end, you don't end up with a victory, but you made enough plays where you could conceivably see yourself taking this game if you guys were to play it again.
Yeah, when we're talking about the entire game, I thought we were the better team out there, especially the second half. We really took control there, created a number of opportunities, controlled the tempo of the game. We came out really strong first 10 minutes, started taking control. I thought Pierre, they're a solid team. They did a good job battling back and maybe controlling the last half of the first half, putting a little bit of pressure on us. They were moving the ball exceptionally well through the midfield, causing us issues tracking their runners. I thought we really cleaned that up the second half, but we kind of took them out of their game and didn't let them push us back, so they weren't able to make those runners, and we didn't have to do as much defensively the second half. They say the best defense is a good offense, and I thought we did a good job keeping the ball in our attacking half for that remainder of the game.
Yeah, in that second half, controlling possession, got a lot of shots near the end. It was just very good defensive performance by Pierre. It felt like they had the doors locked in that final third, and unfortunately, come down to the end of the game, get a one-on-one opportunity, and Swanson in net for Pierre makes a great save. But the one time that I remember in that second half that your defense really had to buckle down was right around the 20-minute mark, and Elena Monin in net called into action a couple times. Defense right around her helped clear the ball away, but your defense, despite not seeing much action in the second half, they didn't get flat-footed when it came time to do their job.
Yeah, and that's what you want out of a defense, and I think throughout this season they've gotten better and better at that as they've seen the attacking side of the game maintain possession. So they've really had to keep track and stay focused throughout the game as we're being more of that possession team. And I thought that you're right. They did a really good job just staying alert tonight, tracking a few of the counters they had. And then, Elena back there, just another shutout for her. There weren't a whole lot of shots. There were a couple that were a little dangerous, made you sweat a little bit, but, she handled them like a champ. And, that's what you want out of your keeper. And I've been very impressed with the way that, she controls that defense as a sophomore back there. And, when the ball's coming through, she takes control. She wants the ball. That's what you want out of the keeper.
Hey, you got one more game left in this regular season. Coming into today's matchup, you were in line to host a first-round playoff matchup here at Crane-Youngworth Field. Hopefully, when everything shakes out with the seed points, that remains the same after this draw with a team that's currently entering today was third in the standings in the Peer Governors. What are you expecting on Thursday? One final pretty long road trip out to Aberdeen Central before you start on Saturday. Excuse me. I'm used to games being played on Tuesday and Thursdays. Saturday this week. You're off for a couple days before that one on Saturday. What are you expecting in that road trip out to Aberdeen?
First off, I'm kind of glad it's a Saturday game this week. The girls really worked hard today. Having 3 days just kind of recover and rebuild for the next game is going to be key for us. Down the stretch here, they've struggled in a couple of games, but they're going to come out hungry, ready to get that win and get themselves back on track. So we just got to be ready and come in the way we played the second half here today. If we do that, I think we're going to challenge just about any team in the state. We're playing, I believe, as well as any team in the state at the moment. So overall, we just need to continue to push forward, play our game, and don't have that hiccup where we're getting a little overconfident and maybe not bringing our best foot. But I really don't see that out of this group. So I think the game against Aberdeen is going to be a good one for us. We're going to continue to press, and hopefully we're going to find that back of the net.
Well, good luck on Saturday. I promise it is on Saturday here. A couple days off for you and your team. Hopefully next time we talk, Coach, we're talking about a little pregame breakdown for a team coming here for the first round of the Class AA playoffs.
Yep, wouldn't that be nice? They've been fighting hard for that first round, so hopefully we can go get it.
All right, let's Coach Tyler Stirring, Yankton Gazelles Soccer, joining Braid Butler in the postgame. The Gazelles now playing Aberdeen also for their regular season finale. Following the Bucks in that varsity doubleheader, the Gazelles currently 7-4-2 and are 8th in Class AA, fighting to maintain a home playoff matchup come playoff time. Gazelles at tennis. They went 2-0 in their triangular Thursday, defeating Harrisburg 6-3 and sweeping Sioux Falls, Washington 9-0. Nora and Sabrina Kraske went 4-0 over their singles and doubles matches with the Tigers and Warriors, as did Paige Mitzel. Next up for the Gazelles is day one of the ESD conference meet on Monday in Watertown. And the Yankton competitive dance and cheer, they finished 4th, and cheer finished 10th at yesterday's Brandon Valley Invite. Dance finished with an average of 250.25, taking 3rd in Palm and 4th in Jazz. Cheer ended the day with a score of 206.5. Next up for Yankton, Invitational at Harrisburg on Saturday, beginning at 10 a.m. A lot of athletics to cover. This is the best time of year, though. Homecoming next week. On the airwaves, it'll be Mount Marty football taking on Morningside. Yeah, taking on Morningside today at Crane. It'll be 12 o'clock pregame, 1 o'clock kickoff. Steve Toomtel-Tano will be on that call. And then Braid Butler covering Yankton Gazelles volleyball. That'll be on KYNT Plus and KYNTV. Of course, KYNTV, wherever you get your KYNTV, YouTube, Facebook, our smart TV app, or online. But you can also find KYNT Plus, the audio stream. That's online at KYNT1450.com, or if you click on the mobile app, and it should have an option there for choosing KYNT Plus for any of the stations here at Riverfront Broadcasting. So that should all work. And go Bucks, go Gazelles, and go enjoy the rest of your weekend. This has been the Coach's Corner, powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. Have a great weekend.
Looking for the perfect? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose